Hi, welcome to the first lesson. In this lesson, we are going to talk about C4D interface, tools, and navigation. Here we have the program section that controls 3D view, object manager here, animation manager, material manager, and attribute manager. Now, let's start with the bar menu. It is a menu that looks like other programs such as Adobe. Below that are the control bar. They are options that you will use frequently. Let's go to know each one of them. The first option on the bar is direct selection. With it, you can select your objects in your scene. The next tool are move, scale, and rotate. Now, these three buttons are for select or deselect the X, Z, or Y axis for the objects. For example, if I select the X axis, this is first move only for this axis. If I select Z, only move for Z axis, and the same for the Y axis. The next buttons are for the option for render settings. If we talk about geometry shapes, we talk about primitive shapes. Here there is the primitive bar, or the basic shapes on Cinema 4D, sphere, square, plane, and more. The next important thing is the camera. It helps you with the perspective or angle and how you want to capture the image of your project. Here is the light section with different kinds of lights what you can use for the scene. This is a preview view of C4D. There are three buttons here you can use to move your camera around. In the first button, if you click and drag, you can move your camera. With the second button, you can move your camera forward or backward in space. With the third button, you can rotate your camera around the scene. Finally, you can click on this fourth button over here. It will split your view into 4 parts. You can click here and you have all the perspective default. Perspective top, front, and right. You can click here and the view turns complete. Another way to access the Move tool is to hold down the number 1 on your keyboard. And for access zoom, you can use the number 2 on your keyboard and click and drag. Now you click number 3 for access to rotate. This is how you can use the navigation tool in C4D. Another important part is the object management. It's like the light used in Adobe, but it's more than that. Here you have all the objects that are on the scene. It serves to organize and give hierarchy to all the elements. Here we have a cube and a sphere. If you want to drag the sphere into the cube, we can create hierarchy. In C4D, it's called a parent-child relationship. The parent is the first object and the child is in the bottom. Here is the sphere. If you move the parent, you can see both of the objects move. This sphere reacts as if it's part of the cube. And finally, let's talk about the materials. Here we have the materials section. For new materials, double click and have new material. Now double click and here you can change the setting of the material, like a color for example, and you can drag into a specific object of the scene. Now that you know about the tools, navigation, hierarchy, materials, and some shortcuts, let's start talking about your style in the next lesson.